Hello, my lovelies. It is time for round 71 of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And in this one, you actually get to help with picking my TBR. So the way this goes is I react to one of my old hauls and I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, if I've unhauled the book. And out of all of the books that I still own that I have not read, you get to vote on which book or books you want me to add to my TBR for the next month. And based on the number of unread books that I still own, will determine how many books I have to pick. So if there are 10 or less, then I only pick the number 1 voted book. If there are 11 to 20, I'll pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. So today, we're going to be reacting to my Black Friday book outlet haul. This is from 2019. I think I saw in the thumbnail that I was holding up a good size box. Those boxes can be deceiving because sometimes they can hold a lot of books or not a lot. So we shall see how this goes. I have the video pulled up. I've got my earbuds synced to my laptop. So let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my Black Friday book outlet haul for you. So stay tuned. Yeah, I know this is super late, but that's kind of how I do nowadays, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get caught up on all these videos. But I have my Black Friday haul here to show you, and I didn't go as crazy this year as I have for the past couple of years. I only have 1 box. Are you surprised? 'Cause I'm surprised. Ugh. So I have this box right here. Odd thing, this box didn't actually have anything that said book outlet on it other than the label, the tag. Okay, opening it up, I have my little receipt here. And I got some paper. 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 More paper. Paper. More paper. More paper. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was like more than half the box. Like seriously? The books only go like that deep. Okay, so this first book here really caught my attention with the cover because it's a bookish book. So it is called The Green Man by Michael Bedard. I have not read that. Let me see if I still own it. No, I've actually unhauled that one. Alright, let me get back to the video. Alright, next up. Okay, so I originally learned about this book from Kayla over at Books and Lala, and I've since seen Cody over at Cody's Book Corner reading this, and both of them loved it, and I wanted to get it. It's also super short. It's called The Test by Sylvia Novelle. Okay, so I have not read The Test, but I know that I still own that. I'm not sure. I think it's in here, in this room. So the way I have my books sorted in my house, I have my series that I am like still reading. Those are located in my master bedroom. Then in the office, I have like my high priority books. In my guest room, I have a closet with my lower priority books, but also on the shelves in the actual room, those are books that I've read and given 4 or 5 stars. And then in my living room, I have like my old books, classics, things like that, and also my Cassandra Clare books. In my dining room, I have books everywhere in my house. In my dining room, I have my Jennifer L. Armentrout books, my nonfiction that I haven't read, my travel books, and all my season-a-thon authors, and like my fairy tales and things like that. I think that's what's all in there. And so I think that The Test is located here in the office, but let me see. Okay, here is the first book that goes on this list. This says Britain, the not too distant future. Adair is sitting the British citizen test. He wants his family to belong. 25 questions determine the worth of a life. 25 chances to impress. When the test takes an unexpected and tragic turn, Adair is handed the power of life and death. But how do you value another person's life when all you have is multiple choice? And it's a really short book too, looks like 104 pages. So if you want me to read this, vote the test. All right, next up. So as I'm filming this unboxing, it's well past Black Friday, it's well past Christmas, it's well past New Year's. But one of the books that I got was Holiday Hacks, Easy Solutions to Simplify the Most Wonderful, scratch that, stressful time of the year. Okay, so this book, I have no idea where this book is. I have looked for it multiple times because I actually want to read it. All I can figure is that it's still packed in a box somewhere. We have boxes everywhere still. As you can see, they've got boxes stacked up right here. So I'm going to say, I'm not going to put this one on the list because I don't know, I wouldn't treat this like one of my regular books, but it is one I want to read. I just don't know where it's at. So I'm not even going to mark this on anything. I do still own it, but we're not going to put it on the list of things to vote for. Okay, continuing on. Okay, so this next book is one that I got as a sort of a top off for the box because I was trying to get my subtotal to a certain point and I needed just a little bit more. So I kept looking and I found In Paris with You by Clementine Beauveau. I don't know. I feel like I still own this, and I know I haven't read it. So let me check. Okay, I do still own it. I think this is in the closet in my guest room. So let me go see if I can find that and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. Let's see. This says, Eugene and Tatiana could have fallen in love that summer if things had gone differently, if it had just been them and not the others. But summer ended and time tore them far apart to lead separate lives until they meet once more in Paris. What happened between them that summer? And do they have a chance of finally being together, or will the past repeat itself and tear them apart once again? From internationally best-selling author Clementine Beauvoir comes a sweeping romance about the one that got away, set against the glittering backdrop of the city of love. In Paris with You is a timeless love story for the ages. So if you want me to read this, vote In Paris with You. All right, next up. Okay, next up is a middle grade book, and well, I actually got the arc of the sequel of this, which I think has already come out now, but I couldn't read it because I hadn't read the first book, and I happened to come across the first book on Book Outlet, and even better, it's a signed copy. It is The Dark Deep by Ali Conti and Brandon Reichs. I do still own that. I have not read it, and I know where it's at, so let me go grab that. Okay, here it is. This says, something ancient has awakened. Everyone in Timbers knows Still Cove is off limits, with its creepy beast sightings and equally terrifying legends. But when a bullying incident sends a 12-year-old Nico Holland over a cliff and into Still Cove's icy waters, friends Tyler and Emma and even Opal Walsh, who usually runs with the popular kids, rush to his rescue and discover a mysterious island hiding in the murky, swirling mist below. And there's a really long thing, so I'm not going to read all of that. But if you want me to read this, vote The Dark Deep. All right, next up. Okay, the next book here, I've gotten, I think, all of the other books by this author, and I've enjoyed them. They've been lots of fun, super cute. So when I saw this one come up on Book Outlet, I wanted to grab it too. And that's There's Something About Sweetie by Zendaya Mignon. I'm not sure if I've read this one or not. I know I read a lot of these books that she wrote, but let me see. Okay, it doesn't look like I read it, or at least I haven't marked it. Okay, so because this is technically part of the Dimple and Rishi series, it's probably buried in my room. because it's part of a series. So, though I think each one is kind of individual. So anyway, I pulled it up on Goodreads so I could tell you about it. It says, Ashish Patel didn't know love could be so sucky. After he's dumped by his ex-girlfriend, his mojo goes AWOL. Even worse, his parents are annoyingly, smugly confident they can find him a better match. So in a moment of weakness, Ash challenges them to set him up. The Patels insist that Ashish date an Indian American girl under contract. Per subclause 1A, he'll be taking his date on fun excursions like visiting the Hindu temple and his eccentric Gita auntie. Kill him now. How is this ever going to work? Sweetie Nair is many things: a formidable track athlete who can outrun most people in California, a loyal friend, a shower singer champion. Oh, and she's also fat. To Sweeney's traditional parents, this last detail is the kiss of death. Sweetie loves her parents, but she's so tired of being told she's lacking because she's fat. She decides it's time to kick off the Sassy Sweetie Project, where she'll show the world and herself what she's really made of. Ashish and Sweetie both have something to prove, but with each date they realize there's an unexpected magic growing between them. Can they find their true selves without losing each other? Sounds super cute. So if you want me to read this, vote There's Something About Sweetie. Okay, so it looks like we're about halfway through the video, so not doing terrible, but also not doing great at this point. We are 4 books in our stack here, or on my list here. All right, continuing on. Okay, next up we have Dry by Neil Shusterman and Jared Shusterman. I have not read Dry. I know exactly where that is. It's on that shelf over there. I love Neil Shusterman's writing, and this is by him and his son. Here it is. Okay, this says, everyone's going to remember where they were when the taps went dry. The drought, or the tap out, as everyone calls it, has been going on for a while now. Everyone's life has become an endless list of don'ts. Don't water the lawn, don't fill up your pool, don't take long showers, until the tap runs dry. Suddenly, Alyssa's quiet suburban street spirals into a war zone of desperation, neighbors and families turning against one another in the hunt for water. When her parents don't return, and she and her brother are threatened, Alyssa has to make impossible choices if she's going to survive. And everything he writes is just amazing. So if you want me to read this, vote Dry. Alright, continuing on. Okay, this next book is, well, it's a graphic novel that I totally got for Xander because he loves Rick and Morty. And that is Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so this, I think I read this one. I can't recall, but I haven't hauled it to Xander. He has this one now, so I think I'm just gonna mark it as unhauled, read and unhauled. All right, next up. Okay, next up we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer: Tales of the Slayer. Includes stories from Tales of the Slayer Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'm not sure if I've read this one. Let me see. Actually, it looks like I have unhauled this one, surprisingly. Alright, next up. Okay, the last 2 books in this box are both by the same author. I have read one book by this author before, and it was kind of an in-the-middle read for me. And I wanted to give the author another chance and see if they would stay in the middle or if they would end up having a really great book or a really meh as far as the other books. So I got 2 more. We'll see how it goes. The first one I have here is The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina. I feel like I read The Couple Next Door. Let me double check. Okay, so it looks like I haven't read it, and it should be in my closet in my guest room, so let me go see if I can find that. Okay, I found it. This says, Annie and Marco Conti seem to have it all: a loving relationship, a wonderful home, and their beautiful baby Cora. But one night when they're at a dinner party next door, a terrible crime is committed. Suspicion immediately falls on the parents, but the truth is much more complicated. What follows is the nerve-wracking unraveling of a family. Detective Raspach knows that the panicked couple is hiding something inside the curtained house. Annie and Marco both soon discover that the other is keeping secrets they've kept for years. The shocking truth will leave you breathless. And it's also a pretty short book, like just under 300 pages it looks like, or right at 300 pages. Anyway, if you want me to read this, vote The Couple Next Door. All right, next up. And then the other one I got was An Unwanted Guest. So while I was in the guest room, I went ahead and grabbed this other one because I saw another Sherry Lapina book right next to it. And I knew I had said that there were two, so I thought maybe this was the other one. And it is. So here we go. I have not read this one either. This says, a weekend retreat at a cozy mountain lodge is supposed to be the perfect getaway. But when the storm hits, no one is getting away. It's winter in the Catskills, and Mitchell's Inn, nestled deep in the woods, is the perfect setting for a relaxing, maybe even romantic weekend away. It boasts spacious old rooms with huge wood-burning fireplaces, a well-stocked wine cellar, and opportunities for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, or just curling up with a good murder mystery. So when the weather takes a turn for the worse and the blizzard cuts off the electricity and all contact with the outside world, the guests settle in and try to make the best of it. Soon, though, one of the guests turns up dead. It looks like an accident, but when a second guest dies, everyone starts to panic. Within the snowed-in paradise, something or someone is picking off the guests one by one. And there's nothing they can do but hunker down and hope they can survive the storm and one another. So this kind of gives me And Then There Were None vibes. So if you want me to read this, vote An Unwanted Guest. So I currently have 7 books on the list. Not a lot left in the video though, so we might be okay. All right, continuing on. Oh, I guess that was it. That was the last one. So only 7 books. So only one book is what I will pick this time. So you can vote for The Test, In Paris with You, The Dark Deep, There's Something About Sweetie, Dry, The Couple Next Door, or An Unwanted Guest. And I will pick the number 1 voted book. So comment down below which book or books you would like for me to read in the following month. And you can vote for as many books as you like. You don't have to pick just one, even though I will only select the number 1. I'll count all of the votes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.